Hi guys, welcome back to another Daily Tarot card. These are your Daily Tarot cards for Thursday, June 1st, 2023, Throne Thursday. Today we're pulling from the Game of Thrones Tarot cards. So happy June 1st. I can't believe we're already in June. Like, what the heck is going on? I'm happy, but I'm just like, at the same time, it's already 32. We went from 3, we're in New Brunswick, Canada. We went from 3 Celsius to 32. It's like, what in the heck happened? It's like going Fahrenheit. It'd probably be like 18 to 100 and whatever. What is it? 101. It's an extreme difference. I think I still have a thorn stuck on my finger. But I love the fact that they're telling us with the 8 of coins. It's like for some of us, it's our kids are moving back home because, they're moving out from college, coming home, giving them a break for 2 months, and then they go back and start all over again. So definitely celebrating the fact that, we get to woosah, we get to be with our kids more, we get to be more present, you know what I mean? And I definitely feel that presence more than ever because it's like the time that I spend with the kids, it's like we be doing school. You know what I mean? So it's like we're going to still do some like, when we have like when it's raining out and it's like, hey, let's like learn this quickly. You know what I mean? Let's learn a practical lesson in life. You know what I mean? So, but it's also I love the fact that like, at the drop of a hat we could go fishing. We could go to the beach. We could do this. We could do that. I love that energy because it's an adventure. You know what I mean? It's just like, an unexpected, wonderful plan for the day. You know what I mean? Or even for a couple hours. I love that kind of stuff. But I feel like with the 8 of coins, I feel like it's like concentrating more on work. I do feel like a flow of money. We're into a positive flow of money here. But I feel like where Spirit is showing like the king, King of Pentacles, it's like, okay, we have a flow of money coming in, but don't forget Christmas is around the corner. Like it or not, I know we just started summer, but it's just like save for that. It's like save for a rainy day. You know what I mean? So we also have, with us, it's like celebrations, like, all the birthdays. They're saying all the countless birthdays, but I love it. I love getting togethers for barbecues and stuff with my sister's family. Like it's just, we have a great time. It's also talking about, like in my case, I use myself as an example. Yours may be different in a different way, but with the way that Canada seasons works, it's like, especially in New Brunswick, it's like either you're cold or you're hot. So either way, it's like, you're using the heating system or you're using an air conditioner or more fans. So it's just like sitting there and, getting ready for that hydro bill to be a little bit higher. So like, yeah, maybe right now it's like we're using fans and everything. So you haven't been using the heating system. So it's just like you're sitting there and you're seeing that change. Well, the pump is working in the basement. So I know it's not going to be, that much more of a deficit down because the pump is always working to pump the water out of the basement. So it's like where you're trying to make changes to save money. Like even with my grocery bill, my kids are into this, especially one because he's a picky eater, Junior. But it's just like, okay, now he's in a fat of this. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Just buying what we need rather than overstocking. You know what I mean? It's like, just be more mindful of like buying stuff that we're going to use rather than just like sitting on a shelf. You know what I mean? So, being more mindful of that. Like, and I even tell them that, like, don't be wasteful. If you're full, put it in the microwave. You can eat it later because, they're nibblers. Like, they eat so much and then they're done. General will eat one meal and he's done for the day. Michael is a nibbler. He'll nibble through the whole day. But Michael's also, like, 6 foot tall. But I feel like this is where the Queen of Swords comes in. People will see, like, the influx of money. I know with myself as a healer, like, there's more free time now, so people are getting more readings at this time. With they don't have this routine of getting the kids up really early in the morning, so it's like it's more easeable. It's more easy. Like, all the sports are kind of laid down as well. Hard lessons I had to learn is that just because you do for others does not mean they will do for you. If you cannot afford to live without that money, if you lend someone money, you just like kind of kiss it goodbye in a way that, you're not going to get it back. Judge Judy says it all the time. If I lend my family members or someone money, I just be like, you know what? It's a write-off. So if you can live without the money is one thing. But if you're like myself where it's just like these ebbs and flows, be careful with that. Maybe offer them half. Maybe offer them less than half. Whatever you can help out with. If you can live without $20, give them $20. You know what I mean? It's just like at least you're trying to help and support. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, you can't live without the whole amount, because what about if they don't pay you back? You're always going to have that in the back of your mind. You know what I mean? So be be cautious about that. We have the four spheres kind of changing the energy of the seriousness of money and what we're supposed to be responsible, like, buy yourself some treats, but also live life. Four spheres, after a rough patch of a time of peace and harmony. One thing that Spirit has been kindly reminding me of, because I'm like, I was in this energy of like, I should have been moved by now. You know what I mean? Like all the signs, all the messages, but they're like, we're protecting you. And I'm like, from what? And it's just like, just because we don't understand, you know what I mean? It's just like, like, are we in imminent danger? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's not like it's questioning, like, oh, why is this stalled? But it's just like, what are we in danger of? Is there something I should do? You know what I mean? So it's just like, understanding that, but it's also being grateful, because they were like, remember, I was sitting there and I'm listening to Greater Life Fleet, and it's just like, what is it called? Calling of the Master, or Meeting the Master, is one that I have on play constantly, and some of their songs from 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's just like, remember that time when you couldn't even listen to music, when you were in that like kind of uh survivor's guilt? Not kind of, I was survivor's guilt, widow fog. Like, there was an actual post talking about the fog, and it's like, yep. The best way I could describe it is when you're really tired and you're trying to think, and you can't think straight, or you're like really hungover and you're trying to get a thought and it hurts your head to think. That's the only way I could put it into words that people would understand. It's nothing. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's just like being grateful I'm not in that energy anymore. Being grateful the fact that we have Sunny. Like, like I can never get over the fact that this beautiful energy, this soul came into our life. It's like, souls come in many ways. I love that when I saw that with in our grieving group, but it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I'm actually participating in life. I'm enjoying life, enjoying music, enjoying the things I always used to love. It took a while, but I'm grateful for it, because it's like, I want to feel everything I'm feeling so I don't have to go back and relearn things again. You know what I mean? I've always been that person that had to learn 1-2 times, because I'm rebellious. I like to march by my own drum, but sometimes it's like really taking accountability to that. We're going to be talking about listening to our intuition a lot too. We keep getting that. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. The fact that they're saying like, you know what I mean? Remember where you were. It's like, yes, we understand you've outgrown this, but when the time comes, we will, this is usually around the time, like, even going with me and Shane, it's like, when we, it was so many years we moved to the apartment, so many years we moved to the house, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's like we're ready for that move energy, as much as I hate moving, but it's like, you know what I mean? Just a little bit more room to spread out, would be nice for the kids and for myself. But it's like, like they said, they're protecting us from something, and I feel like this is where, consulting with Spirit, my girlfriend, I did a reading for her on Thursday. And one thing that her brother had brought up is this leveling up. Spirit had brought it up as well. And the thing that I loved is the fact that she was just like, she asked me about this, and I said, yes, this is the time. It's time. You feel like a caged animal. And I definitely felt that energy too. When I'm not outside and purging that energy, like my muscles are sore, but it's like, I love the fact that it's like, I'm outside and I'm in the fresh air. I'm doing the things that I love. You know what I mean? It's like, that's where I really feel like myself. But it's just like, I told her, I'm like, you feel like a caged animal. So she sat there and she asked Spirit. She's like, Spirit, if this is meant for me, please give me this sign. I kid you not. She went inside the house, turned on the TV, was watching a movie with her daughter, innocent moment, didn't expect to see it in that way. And that's why I'm like, always keep your eyes open to signs. Something will resonate with you. And boom, it just happened. And I'm just like, I'm like, I got the chills when I was talking about it on TikTok. But I'm just like, that's where it's like you're leveling up, because you're showing Spirit. You show me the signs. I'm not going to write. I'm like, some people will dumb that down. Oh, I'm like, it's not like you sat there and went on YouTube and said videos of rainbows. I said the fact that you watched that movie, not even knowing that it was going to be in there, I said that is a definite sign, because they knew you were going to watch that, and it's like, there you go. There's this, you know what I mean? Who knew you were going to ask for that specific sign? Nobody, So it's just like, being grateful for the things that come into your life, and know that, synchronicities are there. You ask for those signs will come to you. There is a healing taking place, and I could feel that as well. Maybe that's why I was feeling this anxious energy, because it's like you're participating in life more. You're able to think clearly more. You're able to be on a more conscious level when you go through those major transitions in life. Again, talking about this Ace of Coins, so this positive new beginning when it comes to financial, but I also feel like grounding energy. There's a lot of energy talking, a lot of healers were saying that. It's like we're going through this like transitional retrograde energy, and it's like ground yourself. Find the things that bring you happiness. I didn't wear my necklace yesterday, and I was just like, I woke up with the worst headache this morning, so I'm like, put it on. First thing I did. We have the Magician. I'm getting this strong energy of communication. I feel like we have to watch our words, but I feel like because we have this aggression in us, you know what I mean? We just want to like just say all these things, and it's just like we got to watch who we're saying it to. In my business, it's like people will say the most nastiest, cunningest things because they think they could get away with it, right? And it's like you have that like aggression in you, and it's like I try not to do it, but sometimes it does come out. Like where I take it out on the next caller, and it's just like I can't do that. It's not their fault. They just caught me right after a real nasty call, and I gotta be like, nope. And I even said that to myself. It's like you can't do that. You gotta watch your tone. Just because one person's like that, I don't need to ruin someone else's day. Let it end with me. So the strength card, bravery, courage, strength, resilience. We do talk about that strength carrying over with the Queen of Swords, and it's just like, having the strength and the courage to like, live your life, be in the moment, sit there and make decisions for yourself that are serving of yourself. We got the Page of Coins here. They are showing me it's like 031. So it's like 31 check, or the 31 check that was printed with something. It has a gray border, and it's like got some blue, but there's something with the check itself. I don't know if it's like spots or something like that. It's just like it looks like not like a, they're saying corporate check, but it looks like I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like someone writing a check like with their personal check. This is like maybe like a government check, or like a I don't know what kind of check this would be, but it's not like a typical check. It's something that has. I'm sure when you open it, you'll understand what I'm saying, but I don't know what this is owed for you. I think it's like $800 and change, a little bit more than 800. It's nice to have that kind of influx of money, and I feel like that's why they're saying maybe you're going to get these synchronicities, where you're like myself and listen to those, the I guess, manifestation songs are on like TikTok and stuff, and it's just like something comes out of the blue there, and maybe that's what they're talking about. But something that is owed to you. Maybe it's $83, but I feel like it's for something. I don't know what. I don't know if you overpaid for something. They're not saying what it's for, but I feel like it's like a blessing. Like maybe you have been putting out to the universe that you want to bring money in, and this is one of many that'll be coming in. So we're going to start off with the Eight of Coins. I feel, workout on display. Maybe you're being seen as an asset. Maybe you feel appreciated. Maybe this is you just coming into your flow. I feel like the fact that he's already completed 8 of these and he's in the flow and he's like, let's do an 8th one. You know what I mean? So it's just like, in that kind of way. I feel like more eyes on you than ever. Appreciation, perfection, reward. The 8 is often called the apprentice card because it's about education and skill. So, like with my girlfriend coming into this new leveling up and understanding with spirit, maybe this is where she's going to start communicating and channeling with spirit. You know what I mean? This is where, we always think education, going back to school, is always talking about, high school and all that. I feel like this is going out and learning what you want to learn. With me, it's like, Deborah Silverman is kind enough to put a couple of classes out. So, taking those classes, and then she does a Zoom call together, and then it's just like, introducing her class. You know what I mean? If you have 6 weeks to dedicate to it and 2.5 hours per day, then definitely do it. But I'm going to wait a little until the kids are done school, I guess, and do it that way. But I don't know. See if there's a summer class. So, Finishing a task of course and learning and completing a work to a higher standard. The card often comes up in a reading to mark the end of a degree, diploma course, a probation period at work, or a phase of creativity and craftsmanship. Your work brings you financial reward. So talking about on the way of, like, with healers, usually the summertime we get a little bit more busier because like I said, you know, the kids are out of school. You know, some most of the sports are done for this time. You know, so it gives them that time off just to, you know, rest and rejuvenate for the upcoming year. You know, be with family, summer camps and stuff like that, going on vacations. So that's where I feel like it's just like, you know, that time where with healers, it's like we have more time to, you know, more readings in a day. I remember I was doing 4 to 5, sometimes 6 readings a day, you know, but it was like answering like follow up questions and stuff. But for like major readings, it was like 4 readings a day. You know what I mean? So it's just like coming into that zone again. So single mindedness, strength, intelligence, insight. And I love the fact that it's coming in here right with the strength card. They're talking about following your intuition. The queen is smart, charismatic, and wise. She's an ally up to a point, but she ultimately puts herself first. Applied to a situation, she advises you to trust your intelligence and insight. The card often comes up in a reading to show strength of character, and it can stand for single partners and single women. So it's like coming into this energy of sitting there and, you know, like I said, like, you know, stands for herself. It's like keeping your own counsel, you know, like one of the things came up. It's just a lot of that where it's just like when you go through a transition of a breakup, or it's like, you know, not only do you lose your life in a lot of ways, it's like you lose everyone around you. No one wants to be around that kind of energy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, like what another gentleman was saying on the feeds. That's why I love TikTok, because it's like so many things are resonating. It's like, you know, he's like, I don't take people's words for what they are. It's their actions. And it's so true. Were you there by my side? Did you listen to all my tears and crying, you know, try to support me? Or did you just take your silence as like that was a support? Oh, you need time alone right now, so I'm going to leave you alone. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's where the strength of character comes in, is where do you actually back that up? Do you actually just, you know, like I kind of went through that with the whole move of my mom. It's just like, you know, when the shoe was on the other foot, you know what I mean? Are you going to sit there and act out that way because it happened to you? Or are you going to just sit there and show up like you're supposed to? Whatever you do is up to you. But it's like, for me, consciously, I could not see someone suffer and be okay with it. It's like, if I could sit there, you know what I mean? If they appreciate it or not, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing this because I wanted something out of it. I did it because it was the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, who are you and how do you, you know, do you actually back up your words? Four of Spirits. After a rough patch, peace and harmony are restored. Establishment, reward, love, friendship, celebration. The four symbolizes celebrations, reward for your work in relationships. Dang, can't stop yawning. Or a declaration of love. The card also favors friendships and group activities, and you feel more settled in your career and home life. There's also a sense of childlike freedom that comes with this card, so you may return to your childhood place or home or find a dream property. So it's just like, you know, some of us are, you know, going on vacation. They're showing someone going over to Europe. It looks like Greece. I keep seeing Greece. I keep seeing those dark blue waters. Oh, stunning. But it's just like maybe traveling to see where your ancestors came from. Maybe your grandparents. They're saying Nona. You know what I mean? So it's just like maybe you're blessed enough to go and have a lifetime trip like that. Definitely go and do it if you're able to. You know what I mean? Time away from family. So maybe it's like you leave your parents and you're going with your grandparents over here, or with your aunts or your uncles. There's an opportunity for you to go. Maybe there's some of them are still back home and they're like, send them over. You know what I mean? Like, the world is opened up now. So it's just like all those opportunities that maybe used to go every summer. And it's just like, do it, you know, before you go off to college or something like that. This card favors for friendship and group activities. You feel more settled in your career and home life. There's also a sense of childlike freedom that comes with this card, so you may return to a childhood place or home or find a dream property. Okay, I already read it. I wasn't even sure. That's how tired I am. I'm not even sure what I read already. But I feel like it's just like a rite of passage. You know, like your father used to go back there. They're showing the father side, so it's like your dad used to go back home. So it's like you go back home and enjoy the summer. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a male that's doing this, a son. So the three of swords. This is in reverse. For me, in reverse, the swords are falling out. The healing is taking place. Especially when they were talking about to me, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, we've outgrown this home. We usually go through the cycle where, so many years and then we move. But they're like, we're protecting you. And I'm like, okay. Like, I trust. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you're protecting us from, so be it. Maybe it's like we move there and then we'll have to move again. So whatever it is, it's like going with it. So pain, sorrow, and a betrayal. The reverse three, heartbreak is accompanied by quarrel, drama, and disorder. You may fear you at least you're at least very sorry at the very least you're able to put your difficult feelings into words, venting frustration, sadness, anger as you move on from shock. Unfortunately, sometimes you know betrayals come in here, ultimate betrayals. Maybe this is a pattern that we've repeated before. So it's just like we got to watch that kind of energy where it's just like, is this reminding us from something? This is when we going back to the past is important, because it's like maybe we've already lived through this, like, already, and it's like, going back to that moment, it's like, what would we do differently to stop yourself in that moment? That's where your intuition kicks in. Your intuition kicks in, and it's just like, we've been here before. This is, there's something synchronistic about this. There's, it's like, deja vu. It's like we've lived this before. Maybe you had a dream about it, but it's just like, how could we change this? Beginnings, prosperity, winnings, business, property. The A symbolizes money, success, and other achievements. You may receive money via new work, or receive a windfall or gift that will sustain you and your future goals. An additional meaning, including new property, founding a new enterprise, and a stable relationship. Overall, the card reveals financial secrets and contentment. Love that. And I feel like this is where that money cycle comes in with no harm to none. You know what I mean? Maybe that check coming in, where even if it is $83, it's like, you know what? I know it's not much groceries now, but it's just like, that's some eggs, some bread. You know what I mean? Like, it's something. You know what I mean? Maybe that's some gas in the car. It's something that you didn't have to pay out of your own pocket. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's where they're talking about, like, this flow of money's coming in. So like I said, maybe you're hustling a little bit more. Maybe you're taking, maybe someone like at my job, they're like, oh, got an appointment. Can you take over, my shift for an hour, for 2 hours? And it's like, yeah, extra couple bucks, throw it on debt, throw it on here, throw it on there. With all the birthday parties, it'll pay for this. Like, I remember last year I was like that. My sister's like, you're working again? I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, it'll pay for this present. It'll pay for this. It'll pay for that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, she's like, okay, true. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it makes sense. I get where you're coming from. Don't sit there and, work your whole summer off. You know what I mean? But, at least you could sit there and, maybe a couple extra hours, and it's just like, it gets you that little bit more further ahead. So we have the Magician. Willpower, messages, manifestation, introspection, diplomacy. So action, ideas, energies about. It's time for inventiveness, expansive thinking, new decisions. So this card often comes up to show new work, relationship, business startups, and other successful creative ventures. At a spiritual level, you connect with your higher self or true purpose. If you're waiting for news, this card tells you that soon you will have the information you need. Significant journeys, moving home. So like with myself, waiting for news, it's, with the move, it's just like, maybe that's what's coming up. You know what I mean? Um, with the Magician, it's all about communication. Maybe where we have this aggressive, built up energy, and they're like, okay, just keep calm. You know what I mean? Like, put your energy into positive things, going outside, gardening, X, Y, and Z. It's like, let's transition. Let's put it into something better here. So strength, patience, courage, strength, resilience. pressure, control, compassion. Stands for renewal and the flow of life. It also has a karmic meaning. What we reap, we sow. Strength invites you to get in a situation under control, to connect to your inner strength, to deal with external pressures or internal conflict. And I definitely had that internal conflict, and I know a lot of you, like when I was during the holiday, on the Saturday night when it ended, I was posting some videos because it was late when we finished the prayers. We're saying the same thing, like, yeah, I'm definitely like going back and forth battling with this energy, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like we're heavily criticizing things, but it's just like in that moment, it's just kind of be gentle with yourself. You know what I mean? There's a reason for this, and definitely, like, I sat there, I cut the grass, and I could feel the soreness in my muscles, and I'm like, this is why, they're like, take your time, because you can feel it, when you start anything, you know what I mean? The first day of workout, you feel but the next day you feel sore, but you feel proud of yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're like, yeah, I feel a little tighter. You know what I mean? You feel like Wonder Woman or Wonder Man or Wonder Person. It's just like, yes, I feel pumped up, but you're sore. Taking my recovery drink again today. So it's just like sitting there, and it's just like, and it's just the fact of seeing it too. You know what I mean? Like, I could see the garden beds all nice cut out and everything like that. It looks good. You know what I mean? So now the next transition is to start, getting the garden beds prepped. This weekend is usually when people plant their seeds. So it's like, getting ready for that. There may be, this may mean taking a moral stance, holding your ground or your values, or dealing sensitively with a hurt, angry individual or a wounded part of the self. So maybe this is where you're going through a deep healing, with the Three of Swords, where they're sitting there and it's like, remember, when you went through the survivor's guilt and you didn't want to listen to music, and, you felt guilty for, walking in the grass barefoot, because that's what I would tell them. I'm like, Shane would go through the winter blues. I'm like, take off your shoes, put your feet in the grass. I'm like, you're, before you know it, the winter's going to be here, I'm like, just embrace all this, So he would do that. He would come outside and he'd sit outside in the chair. He is an indoor person, you know what I mean? But at least he'd come out, like, when it was started getting shady in the backyard, he would come and he would sit, and we would just, like, listen to the birds and everything, and, we would barbecue, make s'mores. The kids loved it, you know what I mean? So it's just like, we still have those memories, but it's just like, there's a deep healing taking place, even with, like, Sunny, you know what I mean? We used to be, we're still heartbroken over the fact that we had to rehome our animals, but at the same time, it's just like, as, I don't mean to get, spiritual or biblical or religious on anyone. It's just like, when those passages come up, that's why I feel like it's a guidebook. It's just like, everything you've lost, we understand. It's never easy to start over again, but it's just like, what? We will replace it with 10 times fold, and I can have gotten the most sweetest, loving, cuddliest, fur baby ever, just the sweetest. So this card also reminds you to have the willpower to break addictions and negative thinking patterns. I don't feel like it's so much negative thinking patterns. It's just I'm the type of person that is like, I got to get this done. It's sitting there and it's just like, when, like, I dropped foolishly my water all over the floor. I was tired and it spilt everywhere, and I don't like wasting paper towel. It's just, that's who I am. So I'm like, I got all these dishcloths, and it's just like, I probably made a bigger mess anyway. But, I have, like, big glasses because I drink a lot of water. And it's just like sitting there, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Now I have all these wet, dish towels, hanging, waiting to be dried. And I'm just like, ugh. It annoyed me, and it's like, I got to get that done. It's done now. I got laundry sitting on my ottoman waiting to be folded. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, it will get done, and I gotta tell myself, just because it's not the fact that I'm lazy. I gotta watch those shadow words, because that's one word I was called. Oh, you're lazy, you know what I mean? And it's like, you always think that, but it's just like, you know what I mean? High holiday, you're restricted, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. You gotta wait till it's done, and then you can do it, So, it's not like they were stinking or anything like that. It was just water, but it annoyed me, if it's in my vision, it annoys me. Physical strength, improvement, and health. I feel like because we're getting out there, and I feel like when you have that fire in you, when you have that, I'm like major fire. I have five houses in fire. You know what I mean? So it's just like, with me, it's just, I don't know. I thrive out in the sun. I thrive in the moonlight. You know what I mean? It's just, now, and think about it. The full moon is on the 4th, which is Sunday. So it's just like, maybe you're like myself. I just tried moon water the last cycle. You know what I mean? I definitely see a difference in my intuitive abilities and channel messages. So I'm going to make some more. It's just like, because we're supposed to get rain on Friday. So it's like, might as well take advantage of it now before, you know, it may be clouded over with the full moon. So it's like you still feel the energy of it. You know what I mean? It's just the light of it is not there, but nevertheless, it's there. Our last card is the Page of Coins. So something coming in here, grounding energy. But I feel like the fact that he's catching a bag of money, I feel like it's like repaying you for something here. I feel like we definitely went through that. They kept on talking about karma, karma, karma. And I feel like even though we don't do it because we expect something back, it's like, oh, I'm doing this because the universe will pay me 10 times fold. Oh, please. They'll smack you in the head. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just sitting there and it's just like, being, they're saying financially rewarded. Okay. For what you've done. You know what I mean? Because they see who you are, And like I said, you put those people, places, things, time, energy, resources into others, and they see that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, get ready to, start seeing one thing after another happen here. And I definitely feel, that we're definitely coming into this cycle here, I feel like that's where the magician, they're talking about that aggressive energy. And the strength card is talking about how we talk to ourselves, negative thinking patterns. I feel like it's just like, cutting that out. And that's a healing that we have to take place with ourselves. That words that have been told to us, by people, our light, who we are, aggravates the shadow side in others. So you get picked on more because they want to dim that light. You know what I mean? Because it bothers them. It's like, you keep going. You keep beating to your own drum. Even if you quote unquote alone, you're never alone. Spirit is always with you. Your ancestors, loved ones, who you've come across, they will protect you. So income, opportunities, good news, details. As a person, the page is young, plain thinking individual, male or female, who is reliable and diligent. Applied to a situation, the card reveals good news about money, income through a new job or project, or an opportunity, a property offered. It's also time to deal with tax returns or to check your schedules. Time is money. With no harm to none, and so it is. So this actually reminded me that I have to renew maybe 2, but I know for sure 1 tax year. You know what I mean? I completely... I was thinking about it last week, and then I had so many other things that got added to it, I completely forgot about it. It's just like, I've been so focused on getting the grass cut. I'm just like, it looked... it just didn't look good. So I was just like, got to get out there. I want to leave out some of the dandelions, especially the first ones. You can see all the bumblebees, like, drying out on them. So I'm just like, let them get their nectar, let them get strong. I'm not going to make it look like a hot mess or anything like that, but I'm like, leaving them out as long as I can and then, cutting the rest off. But there was patches of grass that were like getting up there and it's like, okay, got to get out there and trim that. It looks disheveled. So I was just like, got to get out there, did the backyard. So I feel a lot better now. It's just, at least the first cut is done. Everything's all even now. And, just got to get ready to get the garden beds ready and stuff. So next couple days I'll get that done. But, one day at a time. I'm definitely feeling tired. The past, I fell asleep sitting up. I don't even know what time I fell asleep at. I think it was around 3. I woke up at 7. I was still sitting up. I'm like, oh my gosh. I fell asleep listening to my prayers. So I'm like, okay, time to lay down. Oh, bug. I woke up with a headache. Oh, my word. But it's just like, taking care of yourself, I feel like it's also with us, it's just like, it's really warm in the day. And then it gets really cool at night. Like last night we were 3. But oh my gosh, what a sweet sleep. It's so nice. I love sleeping like that, where it's just like a nice cool breeze and you just sleep comfortably. Oh, it's the best. I know those hot summer nights are coming. We got a heat pump this year, so I might end up sleeping in the living room. It's like, who wants to suffer all summer? Well, you don't have to. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Thursday, June 1st, 2023. May the universe bless you good. Do your salt and cinnamon ceremonies, manifestations. Sit there and clean your space and get all ready for a new month of blessings and opportunities and fun. Anything that makes you happy, you're not harming anyone else, enjoy. That's what this time of year is about, is enjoying yourself. It should be like that all year round. But what I mean, but I feel like we definitely, if you're like myself and you thrive out in the elements, then this is your time. So we'll see you for the next day tarot card. Take it easy.